All right, we're looking at factors versus zeros today. All right, look at this first one here. Write the polynomial function in standard form with these zeros right here. 5, -2, and 4. Okay, if these are my zeros, then that means x minus 5 is a factor. For this one, x plus 2 is a factor. And then for 4, x minus 4 is a factor. So if these are my zeros, those are my factors. Okay, now to find out what this polynomial function is, I just multiply these factors up. Okay, so I can do that real easy. All right, well, first of all, let's take these first two problems, or first two factors, and x minus 5, I'll put it on top of my box to multiply, and I'll put x plus 2 on the side. So right here, this is x squared, this is -5x, this is 2x, and this is -10. All right, so that means I've got these two like terms. I've got x squared, -5 plus positive 2 be -3x, and then I got -10. So that's what I get when I multiply these first two. Now I got to multiply this times this third one. All right, so we'll just make a box underneath it, a column for each term, and then I have x minus 4 on the side of this. All right, so right here, this is x to the third. X times -3x is -3x squared. X times -10 is -10x. Down here, x squared times -4 is -4x squared. -3x times -4 is a positive 12x. And -4 times -10 is 40. All right, so let's see here. I got my x to the third. These two are like terms right here, so -3 plus -4 is -7x squared. These two here are like terms, so -10 plus 12 is a positive 2x, and then I got the 40. And there's my answer right there. Okay. Now number 2, I have the same thing. We've got these zeros, so that means if -3 is a 0, x plus 3 would be my factor. -1 is a 0, that means x plus 1 is a factor. And if 6 is 0, x minus 6 would be my factor there. Okay, so just like we did a while ago, we'll take these first two, and I'm just going to build a box underneath this x plus 1 there, and put x plus 3 on the side. So x times x is x squared, x times 1 is 1x, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 1 is 3. All right, so I've got these two like terms here, so I got x squared plus 4x plus 3. And so that's what I get when I multiply the first two. All right, now we got to take this third one and multiply it. So I'll build a box underneath that. And it's x minus 6. All right, so right here, this is x squared times x, which is x to the third. X times 4x is 4x squared. X times 3 is 3x. X squared times -6 is -6x squared. 4x times -6 is -24x. And then 3 times -6 is -18. All right, so here's my answer here. I got x to the third. These two go together, so that's 4 plus -6, -2x squared. These two are like terms. 3 plus -24 is -21x. And then I got the -18. And there's my answer. Okay. Number 3. A polynomial has these solutions. Now, I tell you, solutions and zeros are the same thing. These are the same thing, just two different words for them, but solutions and zeros. So these are my solutions. What is the polynomial in factored form? Okay, well that's easy. Since x equals 2, x minus 2 would be my factor. X equals -3, x plus 3 would be my factor. 6, x minus 6. And then for -5, x plus 5. And there you go. That's factored form. Okay. Number 4 here, identify the zeros of this one. Okay, right here, x equals 0 right there. Now this has multiplicity 2, because see it's squared, which means it's a double factor. but I don't think this problem asks for that. Right here, x equals -7. And then right here, x equals +3. And so there's my zeros, or my solutions. Okay. Number 5. Given this expression, what's the factors? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we got x4, x2. We need to get this to the other side here. We'll bring it over by adding 144 to make it equal 0. Okay. Now, this is one we've done before. We take our 144. 144 is 1 times 44. Divided by 2 is 72. 144 divided by 3 is 48. 144 divided by 4 is, what is that, 36? 36. 5 doesn't go. 6 would be 24. 7 doesn't go. 8 and 18. 9 and 16. 10 doesn't go. 11 doesn't go. 12 and 12. And there you go, I got a number that's over here, so that's all of them. All right, so if you remember now, since that's a plus, I got to add these numbers, and I got to get 25. And it's 9 and 16. Okay, so this factors down. This would be 9 and 16. See how this is x to the 4th? It means this is x squared and x squared. It's doubled. This goes to the big one over here. And because this is positive, the last sign positive tells me these are the same sign, so they're both minus. So there you go. And now you can't really see this square right here, but that's a square. You got x squared minus 9, x squared minus 16, which these are difference of squares. See, this is x squared, that's 3 squared. So I can break it down x and 3. One's plus and one's minus. This is x squared, that's 4 squared. So I can break it down x and 4. One's plus, one's minus, and there's my factors. Okay. Number 6 here. Using the graph, write the function in factored form. Okay, now if you look at the graph here, where it crosses the x-axis, there's a 0 at -3, there's a 0, there's 1, and there's 1. Okay? Now they all just pass through. They don't, see, if it touches it and bounces back off like this, that's a multiplicity of 2. But these have multiplicity of 1. So this is -3 here, so it's going to be x plus 3. That's -1, so that's x plus 1. This is positive 1, so that's x minus 1. And that's positive 2, so x minus 2. Okay. So those are my zeros, which makes those my factors. Okay. Now, when I was talking about multiplicity 2, you see this one here. Here's a 0 right there at -1. Okay, I'm going to write it here. X equals -1. I'll write my zeros here. There's one there, x equals 0. And here's one here, x equals 2. But if you notice, see how this one touches and it bounces back down? That has a multiplicity of 2, which means when I do my factor, x plus 1, it's squared. Now right here at the 0, see, it's just multiplicity 1, which means it's just x plus 0, or just x. And then this one, that's x minus 2. But see how it touches and bounces back off of it? It's multiplicity 2, which means it's squared. Okay, so that's how you write your factors. But usually that x term, we'll just have it out front, so they have like this right here. So there you go. Okay. Number 8. Factor this into linear factors given that k is a 0. Okay, now what we're going to have to do here, we want to factor this out into factors, but it tells us right there k equals 2 is a 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do synthetic division. I write my coefficients 1, 7, -4, -28. Okay, move that up a little bit. And then in here, I'm going to put my 0, 2. All right. So this 1 comes down. When I get a number down here, I multiply it by 2. 1 times 2 would be 2. Now add these, 9. When I get a number here, I multiply it by 2. 9 times 2 is 18. I add these, which is 14. So when I get a number here, 14 times 2, put it here, 28. And when I add these, I get 0. And that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a 0. That's what it says. It's a 0. But what I have here is I've got 1x squared plus 9x plus 14. Okay, that's what I have here. 1x squared plus 9x plus 14. Now, again, from before, since this is x to the third, that's 1 degree less down here if you do the synthetic division. Okay, now if we take our 14, 1 times 14, 2 times 7, 3 doesn't go, 4 doesn't go, 5 doesn't go, 6 doesn't go, 7's over there. So there's all my factors for 14. Now, since that's a plus, we need to add these, and we got to get 9 right there, 2 and 7. Okay, so that means I can factor this. This sign goes to the big one. And since the last sign's a plus, that means these are both the same, so x plus 2 and x plus 7. Okay, and since this is a 0 right here, x minus 2 would be the factor for that. And so there you go, man. There's my factors. Right here. There's my factors. Okay. Number 9. Similar question. Factor this in linear factors given that k equals a 0 here. So here's k. This is a 0. So let's just 1, -6, -9, and 54. Write my coefficients down. And in here I'm going to put -3. We'll do synthetic division again. So this 1 comes down. When I get a number here, 1 times -3 is -3. Now I add these, -9. -9 times -3 is 27. I add those, 18. And then -3 times 18 is -54, and there you go. It does equal a 0 like it's supposed to. So I have this left over, which it's 1 degree less. This is x to the third up here. So this is 1x squared minus 9x plus 18. And I need to factor that down. So I take my 18. 18 divided by 1 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 18 divided by 4 is decimal. 5 is decimal, and 6 is over there. So that's all the possibilities. Now, since I have a plus here, I need to add these and get 9 right there, 3 and 6. So that means I have x and 3, x and 6. Now let's get my signs in. So this sign here goes to the big one. And the last sign being a plus tells me these are the same, so they must both be negative. And then, of course, I have this one here. This is -3 is my 0 there. So this will be x plus 3. And there you go. There's my factors. Okay. All right, number 10. Uh-oh. Get pulled down here. Number 10, factor this one in linear factors given k0. All right, we're doing the same thing again. Okay. So I've got a 1, a 5, a -16, and a -80, and k equals 4 is my 0. So 1 comes down, 4 times 1 is 4, add these 9. 4 times 9 is 36, add these 20. 4 times 20 is 80, add these, I get a big fat 0. So I'm left with this, 1x squared plus 9x plus 20. Okay, remember it's 1 degree less. Since that's x to the third, this is x squared, 1x squared. All right, I break down my 20. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5, and that's it. 5's over there. Now, which ones of these, since that's a plus, they got to add and get 9 right there. All right, so there you go. And then this goes to the big number. And the last sign being a plus tells me the signs are the same, so that's a plus there. And then I have this one, x minus 4. And there's my factors. Okay. What about 11 here? Factor this one. Okay. K equals 2 is my 0. But look here, multiplicity 2. That means it's a factor twice. Okay. Let me show you now. Okay, so we got 1, -7, 16, -12. And I'm going to put 2 in here. 1 comes down, 2 times 1 is 2, add these, -5. 2 times -5 is -10, add these 6. 2 times 6 is 12, add these, I get a big fat 0 like I'm supposed to. So yes, it did it once. Now go ahead and do these numbers here and do it again. It's supposed to do it twice. Since it's multiplicity 2, so the 1 comes down, 2 times 1 is 2, add these, -3. 2 times -3 is -6, add these are 0. So yeah, it did it twice. So I'm left with this. Now remember, this 1 degree less. So if this is the third, this would have been second, and this would have been the first power. So this is 1x minus 3, and there's a factor. See, this is 1x minus 3. There's a factor there. Here's this 2, which is x minus 2 squared because it did it twice. And there's my factors. Okay, 12. Factor this into given factors, given that k is a 0. Okay. Now I think this is supposed to be multiplicity 2 also. I believe it was. But I didn't get it put on there. Alright, so let's try this. This will be 1, 11, 39, 45. And I'm going to do a -3 over here. Okay, 1 comes down, -3 times 1 is -3. I'll add those, 8. -3 times 8 is -24. Add these, 15. -3 times 15 is -45, and I do get a 0 here like I'm supposed to. Okay, I'm going to do this again because I'm believing this was supposed to be multiplicity 2. So this 1 comes down, -3 times 1 is -3. Add these 5. -3 times 5 is -15. Add these, I do get a 0. So what I'm left with here is 1x plus 5. There's a factor. And I've got this -3, so x plus 3, and I've got it twice. Uh-oh, wasn't on there. I apologize. Got involved in it and wasn't paying attention. So I did my 3, it did it twice, and I ended up with 1 and a 5, which is 1x plus 5. There's my factor there, and I did 3 twice, so x plus 3, -3, which is x plus 3 squared. Okay. Now 13 here. Find the zeros and state the multiplicity of each. All right here. See this x, 3 times 0 would be 0. X equals 0. There's no plus or minus, which means it has to be 0. Here you got x equals 5, and here you got x equals 7. So there's my zeros, but the multiplicity on every one of these is just 1, because there's no powers. Whereas on this one, you can see the powers here. That means my multiplicity is going to be different. But right here, now there's no x there, so there's no 0 here. Now here's a 0 right there, x equals 2, and there's one, x equals -5. This has 2 zeros. This one is multiplicity 3. This one has multiplicity 2. Okay. And now the last problem, number 15, find the zeros here. Okay, all right, here's an x there, so that means x equals 0 is my 0 there. There's no plus or minus, so it's x equals 0. Right here, x equals 8. Now look here, this is x squared. This is a difference of squares. This is x squared, that's 4 squared. So this is going to be x plus 4, x minus 4. Okay, I got x squared, so x and x. I got 4 squared, 4 and 4. One's plus, one's minus. So here x equals -4. And that one, x equals +4. And they're multiplicity 1. So all these are multiplicity 1. Okay. And that's it. So there's our factors versus zeros today. If you have any questions, contact me. I'll help you all I can. Have a good rest of the day.